Hello everyone! And man, Boom really decided to take all of my previous pleas into consideration and start dropping actual spoilers for us, huh? Because literally 2 days after I analyzed a few of his cryptic spoilers for episode 78, and cryptic is a really polite way to describe it for me, he actually dropped not 1, but 5 whole new spoilers for the upcoming episode, and boy, now that's what I'm calling real leaks, y'all. Because not only did those pictures have a quality higher than a raw potato at least, but they also revealed something pretty interesting to me. So today I will tell you everything you should know about the new spoilers that Boom dropped on us. So get your tea and snacks ready and prepare to watch this video to the end, because it's going to be really informative. And be sure to also give this video a like and subscribe to my channel, where I make a lot of skibidi toilet analyzing content while you're waiting for the next episode to get released. Okay, so if you are subscribed now, let's continue. And by the way, as I already mentioned the previous leaks I also got to analyze before, there was some curious information that floated around them as well. And to be more specific, it was regarding that one of those undercooked leaks Boom posted earlier. Or at least how he claimed he did. Remember the infamous potato quality leak with Titan Cameraman smacking some random Astro toilet? Yeah, the one Boom also claimed to be real in his conversation with the YouTuber called Ibio75. And mind you that he did that not once, but twice. Because the dude even asked him about the realness of this leak the second time too, as his subscribers were pretty suspicious about its quality, so they thought it was actually fake. And usually Boom is pretty honest about this stuff, you know. So he just explains plainly whether some pictures are fake ones or not, and it worked just like that since the beginning of time, you know? And besides, you should also take into consideration this fact that the very first leak to episode 78 that Boom dropped, yeah, the one including 2 Astro obliterators, looked not that different from the one featuring Titan Cameraman. They're both are extremely raw in quality, and well, I think I already said everything I wanted to say about this in my previous video, so let's not repeat myself here. So if it wasn't for Boom's direct involvement in both cases, I would personally think that both of these undercooked leaks were fake. But oh well. In the end, it turned out that only the second leak featuring Titan Cameraman was fake after all. But then why would Boom confirm that it's real not once but twice? Only God knows this bro's true motives, I believe. So let's not speculate pretty much about this here. But the most important thing we must learn from this situation is that we can't even trust Boom completely nowadays, for Christ's sake. The times we're living in now, my friends, it really makes my brain hurt a little. Nothing is real anymore. Everything, including your mom, is just a simulation, and we all are living in Boom's virtual world at the moment. There's that. Okay, and now if you are getting depressed enough due to this very unfortunate fact, let's actually move on to something real, as I hope. And by this I mean 5 new leaks that Boom dropped recently. And yeah, they better be damn real after all, because Boom dropped it literally in front of our very eyes during the Stake's latest live stream. And if those leaks will turn out to be fake as well, then I'm gonna quit YouTube for a while and go to a mountain weekly trip instead, accompanied by my personal psychiatrist and his domestic chicken. Okay, that's enough. So let's finally take a look at the new leaks. Okay? And the very first picture depicts a whole wave of Astro toilets. So apparently they are a part of the Astro fleet sent with the same purpose as the 2 Astro obliterators from the first leak that Boom dropped about episode 78. And by that I mean total destruction of the territories these Astro toilets were sent at. So I believe these guys are pursuing pretty much the same goal. And once again, the quality of this leak is not really that stellar, you know. Which still boggles my mind in the wrong way, considering how Boom claimed that around 70 to 80% of the episode has already been ready. So once again, what is really the problem to send the frames from this episode, which could have been in higher quality, or was it a lie from his part too? To be honest with you guys, now I'm not really sure whether I'll be able to trust Boom at all the next couple or months or not. The dude really hurt my heart with the blatant lies about that one Titan Cameraman leak. So everything can be possible now. Maybe the dude was straight up lying about the degree of episode 78 production being ready too, and in fact he hasn't even started working on the episode? Just imagine that, guys, that would be really crazy, but in the most wrong way possible. Okay, but whatever. Let's go back to the actual leak now. So even though this part of the Astro fleet was probably sent to destroy everything and everyone they're about to see, it's still pretty funny to me considering how severely unprepared they all seem. I mean, damn! Remember how the regular Astro toilets used to look like in episodes 76 and 77, for example? They were literally loaded with the special equipment, which was useful enough to fry the whole crowds of both the Alliance's agents and the regular Skibidi toilets fleeing from them. Astro toilets literally looked like a menace to them all, and they actually looked as if they were posing some great danger, and only elite warriors would be able to successfully deal with them. But oh my, just look at these goofballs from this leak. Do you guys really think these tiny obrats can actually pose a danger to someone? Especially to the agents from the third generation of the Alliance's upgrades? Man, now I really cannot wait to see this actual frame in the upcoming episode because in my honest opinion, even the laziest member of the Alliance would be able to deal with this so-called elite Astro toilets face to face. Not to mention some crowded encounters. So yeah, well, those Astro troops from left and right don't look impressive or menacing to me at all. But the dude in the center of this leak? Yeah, well, now we're talking at least about something. He looks pretty alright in my opinion, even though his size still could be larger, because he looks way too mid in that sense. Because once again, just remember those huge freaking Astros from the earlier episodes, and even Titan TV Man looked not that big in comparison with those big boys. Even Astro Duchess looks more gigantic now. So this random dude actually looks poor in the background with someone like this. And to be honest with you guys, I think that those laughable Astros are just a gimmick from Boom. And the action in the episode will look somewhat like this. The whole army of the Alliance gets ready to face the bigger arms of the Astro fleet. And these guys show up. The moment of silence occurs. Then this wave of Astro minions gets entirely smashed in the matter of literal seconds. The Alliance's agents celebrate the early victory and then are like, okay, but now what? And that's when the actual bad boys of the Astro fleet show up and the real intense battle begins. Well, at least that would really fit Boom's style, you know? Because once again, these guys really look just miserable on their own, but that's just my opinion. And based on their facial expressions that are pretty difficult to get in the quality like this, but it's still manageable. They are well aware of their uselessness too, because oh boy, they really look scared and confused. And on the second leak that Steak got, we could observe one of these miserable Astro toilet minions in close-up, and that's pretty much all about it. And just like I mentioned before, this Astro dude really looks scared and not confident about his powers at all. And I believe that's the vibe of his whole squad, which got me thinking, maybe it was actually planned. Maybe these poor dudes were to be used as a literal cannon fodder and nothing else? Because remember the UFO commander from the Season 25 secret scene, the one involving Astro Juggernaut? It really seemed to me that Astro commanders give zero flying FS towards their inferior warriors, and they are nothing but raw meat for the battle to them. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if these poor losers from these two leaks would turn out to be just that, while the actual Astro fleet plans to show up later. Maybe with the element of surprise, who really knows? And in that case, I almost feel sorry for those tiny goofballs because they will obviously be cooked by the Alliance. Okay, and now let's move on to the third leak. And it contains quite a lot of pretty interesting details I want to talk about. So first thing first, it features some random cameraman that actually decides to cosplay a Skibidi toilet or something like this. Because just look at his equipment. He really looks like he decided to put up some part of a Skibidi toilet's rim into his body. Maybe that's fashion statement, or a part of, some new development. Or it is actually a thing for the Alliance's agents now to dress in the very interesting costumes. Just remember that one cameraman dressed like an anime maid from Season 25, or a cameraman wearing cat ears. Yeah, well, such a long time in robots' bodies can get to anyone, I believe. So men's desires tend to get darker and darker these days, huh? Okay, but aside from this interesting fact, there are also some other details on this guy's equipment that caught my eye. And the first thing is this little cute cat paw kind of thing on this cameraman's head camera from the right side of his helmet. And I wonder if this detail has some connection to the Astro Juggernaut's cat paw from episode 72, or maybe it's just an accessory thing that is not that deep. On the other hand, it's a pretty well-known fact that Skibidi Universe really has animals in it too. Like we still hasn't discovered the origin of Astro Juggerson from episode 75 having literal dog's ears, for example. So let's not ignore this cat paw detail for now. Maybe it will turn out to be quite important later. And aside from that paw image, I also noticed some pretty interesting detail on this guy's chest armor, which looks like some sort of logo in a shape of a sword. I don't really know what this can be exactly because the image here is cropped, so you guys can write your own assumptions in the comment under this video. And by the way, speaking about this image being cropped, I also think that something pretty interesting is being placed behind this cameraman's back on the right side of the picture, but I obviously have no clue about what or who that actually is. But we still got another angle to look at this guy though, and it came from the next leak I'm going to show you. And this picture features a skibidi toilet that looks suspiciously similar to Steak himself. Well, at least he's got the same bald head, you know. And behind this bro, we can notice the same freaky cameraman that was shown on the third leak. And that's pretty much it about that. This angle still doesn't reveal to me the right side of the cameraman's perspective and who can be hiding behind them. So I believe it's going to remain a mystery until episode 78 publication. Okay, and now let's move on to the last fifth leak. And it actually turned out to be the most interesting one. So this leak is probably a POV of some injured cameraman agent who was being rescued by the big TV man and one of big cameraman agents. He was probably found by them in the battlefield after some Astro raid where the POV somehow managed to stay alive. And now the big TV man is about to teleport him back on the Alliance's base, while the big cameraman serves as a backup here. And this leak gives me two ideas. The first one is that the events of episode 78 are going to happen after some major battle with Astro toilets. Or the second option is that episode 78 is going to get divided into 2 or 3 parts, where one half of it will be dedicated to an intense battle scene, while the second half will show us the aftermath of this battle. So we'll probably see several different plot arcs too, with different characters. But we'll see how it goes in the actual episode. And what do you guys think about this? And what option do you support the most? And that was all for today. Write in the comments what you personally think about what I just said. And be sure to also subscribe to my channel not to miss my new videos to keep yourselves updated while you are waiting for episode 78 to get released. And that was me, ISOTOILET. See ya!